Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our second day 26 Vine Health live update. And these updates are meant to bring you the latest developments in the world of the COVID-19 pandemic to keep you informed on surviving and basically thriving during this time. I did try to do an evening one, but sometimes it's so important to know who you are, know yourself, and understand who you are. My routine is very regimented, so I wake up very early and I go to bed very early. So usually by evening, I'm just not completely there. So if any of you saw my the one I tried to do yesterday, it would be nice to have your comments, but I just felt like I wasn't able to give fully of myself yesterday. So I think I will stick with what I know. It says know yourself. When you know yourself, that's the secret to success. So today is Money Friday. Money Friday. So we're going to be talking about money today in all ramifications. So money, and I used to be very uncomfortable talking about money, particularly being a doctor. You're almost seen to be more of a charitable worker, but actually money is very, very important. So it's going to be all about money and sort of, is this an opportunity here to save? Is this an opportunity to to build your nest egg? And let's just talk about all things money. So we were talking about money towards the end and how we can really just do something different with money this time. I gave some updates already, but everybody knows what's going on. Happy Good Friday. It's Good Friday for every Christian out there who is observing Good Friday today. Congratulations to us all. It's the day, Jesus Christ died for everyone on the cross of Calvary. So happy Good Friday, but it's still Money Friday today. So if you don't get to watch it this morning, for those of you who are, in America or elsewhere, hopefully you'll get to watch it when you wake up and you can share it as well. And I appreciate that. The reason why I do this update, to be honest with you, I have to be honest, as I'm speaking to you who's watching, is not for popularity. Honestly, I feel that this is what I have been asked to do at this time. So for me, the purpose is if it reaches one person, if a word I say reaches one person and influences them and impacts them, I'm happy with that. It's not for popularity, so it's good. So happy Good Friday for everyone. Happy Good Friday. So the updates we're giving yesterday, we all know what's going on in the world of the pandemic. We are still a few weeks away from us leaving the lockdown. We're still in the lockdown period. We're still all meant to stay home. We can't go anywhere. We're encouraged to exercise in the house. Some of us still can't. The pull of the outside is so difficult, so we'll go for a quick run and come back home. And so we're still in the lockdown. So the deaths are still going up, but the positive tests are less. So there is hope. There's hope. There's hope. There's always hope. When we had the 1918 pandemic, none of us were around. Nobody watching this was around in the 1918 pandemic. But these were the same measures that were done then. And back then, almost 100 million people lost their lives. And again, we've had the Great Plague. We've had the bubonic plague. This has happened almost every century. So this is not a new thing. It's not a way of God punishing the world. God is a God of compassion. He's not punishing us. He loves us regardless. So it's just we're just here at this time and we pray to survive it. For those who have lost the battle, we just say a heartfelt, sorry for your loss. We pray for the strength to pull through. We pray for the strength to recover. It's a really difficult time. I know people who have lost people to this, and there are no words to comfort anyone. It's hard, it's painful, but we will survive this together. Let's just stay strong and support each other. So just talking about sort of money again. If anybody has an interest in money, please put comments and just let me know what your thoughts are. But I feel that money is related to health, right? So they say health is wealth, but wealth is also health. And to be honest with you, if you don't have the means, it's really hard for you to be able to help yourself and to help other people. For me, the purpose of money is so that I have enough to make a difference to this world, to be able to give of your time. Time is money. If you're able to give time, that's also something. And that's why last year I launched Beyond Wealth. Beyond wealth is a movement of people just thinking about building their own wealth in whatever means. So either you're investing your money, you're saving, you're buying property, you're buying stocks and shares, you're getting the knowledge of how to build wealth with the purpose of you being able to impact the life of somebody else, even if it's one person. And on the back of that, we launched the scholarship program, which is to help Black children get into top universities. So money is really, really crucial. Now, how do we save? So the pandemic now, we're not really, well, I don't know about you, but I'm not really spending money. So some people even have children in some schools where they've been given discounts. If you're in a fee paying school, some people are not paying full fees. Some are not even paying any for this coming term. So there is some money that you can set aside, you know. So what do you do with that money? What do you do with that money? There is definitely some disposable income. I'm aware that people have been furloughed. You know, some people have lost their jobs. Some people are having to seek for universal credit and seek for unemployment benefits. But if you are lucky to be in a job where you're still being paid, where you are, able to get your full income, how are you going to use that disposable income that you didn't have before? What are you going to do with it? How should you save? Where should you save? What should you do? So anyone who has sort of that experience with money, please come on and share what your experiences are. I mean, when we had a discussion last week Friday with Prince Araromi, we talked about, not doing anything with your investment yet. Don't buy, don't sell. So it means that money that you're saving, you can't do any, you want to just hold on to. And where should you put it? I mean, money is something that I'm not shy to talk about. And I'll give you a little story and a little insight into my story as to why I'm not shy to talk about money. Growing up, I was privileged to have an auntie who was a doctor. She's no longer with us. And she was a doctor who was also an entrepreneur. So she had various companies as well. She had a poultry, she had a manufacturing company. She used that money to make an impact in my life. So she made a difference to my life. So for me, and she always talked about saving. Don't spend everything you have. Keep something aside. And then use that to build something else. Increase your money, because if you don't increase what you have, then how are you going to help somebody else? So that extra money, I mean, I'll suggest what I think, but again, I'm not a financial expert, so I'm going to disclose, full disclosure here. Any advice I'm giving, please verify it with your financial advisor, because I'm not a financial expert. My suggestion is that actually look at your income, and if you have any disposable income. So if, for instance, you have saved £500 from not paying school fees, take that money out and put it in a separate account, and mark that money savings from the pandemic. If you actually put a name to that money and actually just save that money aside while you're looking for an opportunity of how to invest that money. Because saving the money actually doesn't grow the money. The interest rates are very low at the moment. So there's no account you're going to put your money into that is going to yield anything for you. It's not going to yield anything. There's no extra you're going to get from saving it in a bank account. What you're actually doing now is looking for where you're going to put that money for the future and where you're going to invest that money. So, many people have stocks, Royal Mail, stocks. These are shares and stocks that will always grow, right? So while they may crash at the moment, buying, shares that are steady and will always grow is a good idea. So my suggestion is that you put that income, you put it aside and you invest it in reliable shares. You can't buy a house with £500. You need a whole lot more deposit to buy a house. And really, you can't buy a house now, because if you buy a house now, I'm not sure you're going to get anybody to rent it. I don't know. The property experts like Mayo Waluye, they can comment on that. I hope that, maybe he'll put a comment on that later. But I personally wouldn't want to buy a house in the current market, because I'll be thinking, okay, who's going to live in the house? Is anybody going to rent it? Are people needing the house now? So if you don't have enough for a deposit for a house, then it's best you then keep that money aside and keep looking for where to put it. Do not spend that money you're saving at this time. Do not spend it. You don't have anywhere to, you can't buy any clothes anyway, because where are you wearing the clothes to? There's no party to go to. There's no church to go to. So you don't need any clothes. The one you have at home is enough. You don't need any clothes. So if you don't need any clothes, you don't need any shoes, you don't need any wig, you don't need any hair. So you don't really have anything to spend. There's no extra spend. It's really interesting that there's no extra spend that is needed at this time, apart from paying your bills, paying for where you live, and buying food. What else are we spending money on now? There's nothing. And there will not ever be a time like this again in this life. I don't think so. So please just give me some, information as to what you're doing with your money. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about saving? And then also, you can also think about giving. So at this time as well, even if you save £500 and you give out £50, it's something. There's different organizations that are doing things for people. So for instance, we have a doctors organization who are thinking about how we can give back, everybody's contributing a little bit of money. If you have a church who are also giving, or a mosque who are helping people during this time, you can give a little bit, give something there. But your responsibility really is to have enough to build on, so that you can help somebody else, so that you can come for the Beyond Wealth Conference in December. By the grace of God, that the Beyond Wealth Conference in December, you can attend that and actually meet other people who are on this path to building their wealth. So if you want to know more about Beyond Wealth, please put a comment in, send me a message, and I'll share that with you. I think that's what I'll say. So get that money out. Go look at your account now. It's only the beginning of April, so many of you have just been paid. You haven't bought anything. So why don't you look at what you've got? And today or this weekend, where you have a long weekend, why don't you move that money into an empty account? You can actually create your ISA. In the United Kingdom, we have what we call the ISA, and this is the beginning of the year. So you can actually move that money and put it in an ISA, which is tax-free. So, and if you don't take money out, you don't really pay any, thing on it. So you can actually take that money now, open an ISA today, and put that money in an ISA. That way it's there. And then you can keep on, putting that money in that ISA. And then when you're ready to invest it, you can take it out. You pay a little bit of interest, I think, for some people, and invest it. So you take your money out and you put it in an ISA. A regular account is no good. A regular account is no good. So I wouldn't suggest you did that. I think it's important that you put it in an account that does not charge you, and that you can get extra money from. So that's my view. What else did I want to talk about? So we've talked about what to save, where to save it, and how to invest it. So the decision really is, don't invest it yet. Make a very, very, very conscious decision to invest. Money is important. The reason why many communities have that influence and power is because they work together to build their wealth. So, whatever community you're part of, you can't do it on your own. There are stages in this life of growth, and growth starts with you, first of all, maybe looking at, how you lead yourself. How do you lead yourself? How do you make sure that you have those habits that are good? And then you're not depending on other people. So you move from a stage of dependency, where children are dependent on their parents. You move from dependency to independence. Independence is when you are self-sufficient, but independence is not where you want to stay. You don't want to live in independence. You want to live in interdependence. Interdependence means that you are leveraging your network to improve yourself. One person does not have all the answers. If any of my friends are here and they want to comment, please put a comment in the comment box. People like Timmy, Koleowo, who are doing things in the community, people like Samoni Banjo, who are doing some great work in the community as well. Please, put all your views here about money. But let's move from independence to interdependence. You're not enough on your own. You need to be in a tribe. You need to be in a tribe, what I call a wealth tribe, a beyond wealth tribe, where we're moving away from scarcity and we're moving into abundance. Let's have the abundance mindset. Let's have let's be able to solve problems. Let's be able to influence policy. Let's be able to come together and not compete with each other, but to support each other. Believe me, nobody has all the answers. And speaking to you, I don't have all the answers. I'm constantly looking to, to learn and to network and to speak to other people, and, looking for, just ways of growing and trying to grow myself. So that's where I'll stop today. I was going to talk about furloughing, but I'm sure many people know what furloughing is. If you don't know what furloughing is and you want to ask for information on that, please send a message. I'm sure there are people in the community who can answer that question, and I have a little bit of an idea as to what that is. As you know, the UK government is also getting an overdraft from the Bank of England. Isn't that interesting? You can get an overdraft from the Bank of England. It's such a transparent community. It's really, really interesting. So I really enjoy talking about money, clearly, even though I'm a medic, but I like talking about money. I'll try and stop there. I could talk about money all day because I think money solves a lot of problems. Money is a tool. You don't love money. You use money to solve problems. And what I do is use money to solve problems. And, Beyond Wealth for me is a tool to help the community. And we already have, we have a scholarship, and we have a scholar that we are going to support. So if you want to know more about, coming together and working together, please just find out. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I always title my Saturdays Wellness Saturday, because I feel that, for you to be well, everything has a purpose. Your money has a purpose. Your health has a purpose. And all you can do is try. Nobody has all the perfect answers. You do all you can, and then you leave the rest to the higher power to determine the outcome. But Saturdays are my wellness Saturdays. And tomorrow I want to really talk about motivation. And I've been seeing a lot of posts about overeating, and people saying that they're not motivated to, it's difficult to just not eat as much as you normally would. So I'm going to talk about motivation, and then I want to try something called the plank challenge. So, I showed you a few things the other week, but maybe let's start what we call the plank challenge. Think about it. So if you're going to join me on the plank challenge tomorrow, I'm going to try my best to win this plank challenge, but who knows? I'm sure there are people there who can hold the plank for 10 minutes. I can't. But the plank, I'll tell you about the plank tomorrow and how useful plank as an exercise is. Anyway, thank you for listening to me talk a lot about money and our Money Friday, which I love. So put comments in. Oh, sorry, there was a question I forgot to answer before I sign off. Somebody sort of sent a message about helping to write prescriptions. I don't come to this platform as offering my services as a doctor. No, I'm coming in my own capacity. So unfortunately, I cannot write a prescription for anyone on this platform. So if you want some advice, I'm happy to advise you on where to go, but I won't be able to write that on this platform. But thank you everyone for watching. Happy Good Friday. See you tomorrow morning for the plank challenge, and look after yourself. Say hello to somebody today, call them, text them. If you're my friend, reach out to me. I do want to be reached out to too. And have a great Good Friday.